Hello, welcome to Purana Talk.
We're reading the Garuda Purana. We're in the second Kanda, and we're reading chapter 27, entitled Episode of King Babhruvahana. No, seriously? Babhruvahana. Babhruvahana. With a line
Just
over
like you'd think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vahana means vehicle, so he's King Babhru vehicle. That's almost as fun to say. Babhru vehicle. Garuda said, "How do ghosts originate?" God, will he never end with these questions? I mean, seriously.
Well, he wants to know how this happens because
why
it becomes his problem because people petition him to carry to Vishnu these messages all the time.
All right, how did the ghosts originate? What are their features? O Lord, of what misdeeds are the great ghosts and pishachas the outcome? Bru.
R-U. I'm that far.
Babhru. Vahana. That's where it's Vahana.
Thanks.
But that's a long A and right there. You got it. There. Now we can move on. Thanks. How did the ghosts originate? What are their features, O Lord? Of what misdeeds are the great ghosts, the pishachas, the outcome? O Lord, the slayer of Madhu demon, for the benefit of everyone, please shed light on these vital points. What are the meritorious rites and charities whereby the ghost is redeemed? O Lord, if you wish me well, please tell me everything. The Lord said, O Garuda, you have put a pertinent question. For the benefit of human beings, please listen to the narrative of a ghost that I am going to tell. This is the secret of secrets, which is not to be divulged to anyone and everyone. O mighty one, you are my devotee. I tell you, therefore. O bird, formerly, in Treta Yuga, there was a king, Babhruvahana by name, in the prosperous city of Mahodaya. He was beautiful and righteous, too. He used to make gifts and perform sacrifices. He was rich. Revered by saintly men, devoted to Brahmins, endowed with good manners, as well as sympathetic and chivalrous qualities. Powerful that he was, he protected his subjects like his own sons. One day, he started on a hunting expedition. He entered a thick wild forest overgrown with variegated trees infested by hundreds of tigers and resonant with the chirping sound of different kinds of birds. In the middle of the forest, he saw a deer at a great distance and hit it with an arrow. With the arrow sticking to its body, the deer vanished behind the trees. The king followed the blood-stained track in pursuit of the wounded deer. He reached another forest. His throat became parched with hunger and thirst. He was utterly exhausted. He saw a pond and plunged into the water together with the horse. He drank the cool water rendered fragrant with the contact of lotuses. He came out of the lake and sat under the cool shade of a beautiful fig tree resonant with the chirping sound of hovering birds. The tree appeared to be the foremost leader of all the trees there. While he rested at the root of that tree, he saw a ghost who was excessively hungry and thirsty. The ghost was of awfully terrific appearance, dirty, rough, and skinny, with disheveled hair, and running here and there. His feet were mere bones and sinews. There were many other ghosts surrounding him. On seeing this hideous ghost, Babhruvahana was struck with wonder. The ghost, too, seemed to be delighted on seeing the king who had come to that dreadful, dense forest. He approached the king, O Garuda, the king of ghosts, then addressed the king thus: "Verily, my ghosthood has come to an end. I have attained the great goal. O mighty king, thanks to your contact, no one else is happier than I." The king said, "Oh, black and hideous being, you appear to be a ghost. Please tell me the exact state of facts of your life willingly." Thus being asked by the king, the ghost revealed everything. The ghost said, "O foremost of kings, I shall tell you everything of my life from the very beginning. On hearing the cause of my ghosthood, it behooves you to take pity on me. Vaidisha is a city endowed with many riches. It abounds in gems of all variety. It is surrounded by villages and countries of all sorts. People are busy in performing holy deeds. The city abounds in fruit-bearing trees. I was here. It was here that I stayed, engaged in the worship of gods. Please know that I am born of Vaishya parents, and my name is Sudeva. I propitiated gods by sacrificial offerings and the mains by oblations. The Brahmins were propitiated by me with various kinds of gifts. They were provided with foodstuffs and means of recreation by me. Both to the virtuous and the indigent, helpless people I had made many gifts. But, unfortunately, all those gifts became utterly useless in my case. I have no son, no friend, no kinsman, no acquaintance to perform my obsequial rites. O excellent king, my ghosthood appears to be permanent. The Shraddhas, like the 11th day Shraddha, the 3 fortnightly Shraddhas, the half-yearly, the anniversary, the monthly ones are 16. Preta Shraddhas not being given, they say ghosthood becomes permanent, even though hundreds of other Shraddhas are performed. O king, realizing this, save me from ghosthood. A king is supposed to be one who befriends people of all castes. Hence, O king, save me. I shall give you a precious gem.
What verse is that? A king is
33. A king is supposed to be one who befriends people of all castes. Hence, O king, save me. I shall give you a precious gem. O foremost among excellent kings of powerful valor, if you have pity for me, please carry out the rites of obsequies for me so that I may obtain an auspicious state. It is also advisable that you perform such rites as would ward off your future disaster. The king said, "How do ghosts originate even after the rites of obsequies are performed for them? By what evil deeds do pishachas originate? Please tell me." The king of ghosts said, "O excellent king, those who steal or misappropriate a Brahmin's wealth, temple property, women's wealth, or children's money are turned into ghosts. Those who indulge in sexual intercourse with saintly women, or women of their own gotra, or forbidden women, or those who steal conch shells, become major ghosts. Those who steal corals and diamonds, those who steal garments, those who steal gold, those who do not face enemies but turn away from battlefield and are killed, those who are ungrateful, those who are atheists, harsh, roguish, and foolhardy, those who are devoid of 5 major sacrifices, become ghosts, O great king." The king said, "How are ghosts freed from that state? Please tell me, how am I to perform rites to prevent my own future disaster?" What are the rules regarding the performance of those rites? Please tell me. The ghost said, O Lord of Kings, please listen to a brief description of the Narayana rite. Hearing of sacred shastras, worship of Vishnu, society of the good, destroy ghosthood. I therefore tell you about the worship of Vishnu. Take 2 gold pieces and with the name make an idol of God, with the same make an idol of God Narayana. The idol should be decorated with ornaments. I guess, take 2 gold pieces to the goldsmith, I suppose, and have him make them into a...
Or if you have the skill, make them.
Yes, of course. The idol should be decorated with ornaments. 2 yellow pieces of cloth shall be used to clothe it. Smear the same with sandal paste and sprinkle agaru over it, which is agar wood. Lignum aloes, right?
Yep.
It should be bathed in holy water collected from various centers and fumigated with fragrant incense. Lord Sridhara should be worshipped in the east. And Sridhara means the bearer or holder of Shri, which is auspiciousness, but also Lakshmi, so presumably it's Vishnu in one of his forms. Perhaps all of these are really Vishnu when you get right down to it. Lord Sridhara should be worshipped in the east, Madhusudana in the south, Vamadeva in the west, and Gadadhara in the north. Brahma and Shiva should be worshipped in the center. Then, O king, the deities should be propitiated after circumambulation and offerings of ghee, curd, and milk into the fire. Then the devotees should take bath and humbly perform japas with concentration. He must then start the Urdhva Dehika rites, humbly, without anger and covetousness. He should perform all shraddhas and vrishotsarga. Back to letting go the bull. Let the bull go. To 13 Brahmins he should gift umbrellas, sandals, rings, gems, vessels, seats, and foodstuffs. Water jars filled with water should be given for the benefit of ghosts. Then, giving a bed as gift to the utensils should be offered to the ghosts. Then the Samputta rite should be performed with one's own name, repeating Narayana. If anyone does this duly, he shall secure welfare. The king said, O ghost, how should the utensil be made, and how should the same be donated? Kindly state. The ghost said, You've asked well. I shall tell you about the gift by offering which one shall not get ghosthood. The gift is called Pretagata, which removes all evils. It is rare in the world, and it destroys the evil state. Footnote, Pretagata, an earthen jar symbolical of the body, which is mortal as the jar itself. The rites of Pretagata are many and start with the death of a person. Halfway from the place of death to the cemetery, there is a public possibly shed in every village where the bearers of the corpse take rest, and where the son of the deceased breaks the earthen jar, offers a rice ball, and cries aloud. Pretagata is also a jar whereby the water is poured at the root of a sacred tree for the propitiation of the departed soul. Obsequial sections in the Puranas refer to this rite falling on the 10th, 11th, 13th, or 17th day, according to the family custom. Get a jar of heated gold manufactured by the smith, fill it with milk or butter. With full devotion to Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the guardians of quarters, give the same to a Brahmana. What avails hundreds of other gifts as compared to this? 57. a gold jar full of milk or butter. It don't matter. It's a gold jar. All right, we're at 58. Brahma, Vishnu in the middle, pacifying Shankara in the east, and the guardians of the quarters in their serial order should be worshipped, O king, with incense, flour, and sandal. The golden vessel should be gifted, together with milk and ghee.
What verse, please?
58, 59. This gift is the best of all. It removes even the major sins. It should be made in good faith, O king, to ward off ghosthood. Even as the ghost was saying this, O son of Vinata, the royal army consisting of elephants, horses, and chariots arrived there. When the army arrived, the ghost disappeared, but not before it had given a ruby to the monarch. Thereupon, the king left the forest for his capital. After reaching the city, he performed the Ardhvadehika rites, duly in accordance with the statement of the ghost. With due shraddha performed by the king, the ghost attained a nice state. Then what wonder is there if the father achieves the same with the shraddha performed by the son? Whosoever hears or tells this holy narrative will not obtain ghosthood, even though he may have committed many sins.
I remember it mentioned Eaglewood,
Uggerwood.
Yeah. What verse was that?
That was in 42 to 45, where it tells you about the gift to be made. Take 2 gold pieces. With the same, make an idol of God Narayana, not the vessel, but the idol. Should be decorated with ornaments. 2 yellow pieces of cloth shall be used to clothe it. Smear the same with sandal paste, and sprinkle aguru over it. It should be bathed in holy water collected from various centers and fumigated with fragrant incense. And remember, agarbatti in Hindi, that's the word for incense, stick incense, is comes from the word for agarwood. Agaru.
And in Japanese, ko, the name for incense, is the name for agarwood.
It's also lignum aloes, this wonderful infected wood.
It's not really the wood that is so good. It's this fungus that gets going in the wood that makes it really black.
Without the wood, or with the fungus,
the wood makes
fungus.
It perfect. And so it has this wonderful smell.
Yes, it does.
Try it.
There's different grades of it, but yeah.
Try any of it.
Yeah.
It's all good. Well, very good. I thought it was interesting that it was, we're done, right?
Yeah.
That it's concerned with what causes ghosts to happen. And then the ghost has asked the king to do his shraddha rite. That's because the other piece that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, this is one of the things, who can do shraddha for you. It starts with your son. If you haven't got a son,
when you run out of people, you can go to the king.
The king can do it for everyone, and the king associates with
the king agrees to do it. And then there's the goat. He asks the ghost, "How does ghosts happen?" And the ghost tries to explain to him.
It's interesting because
how this happens.
Yeah, Garuda's been asking Vishnu over and over and all these questions about ghosts and about death and stuff like that. And then this one, Vishnu finally just passes the ball and says, "Let's ask a ghost."
Right.
And let's relate this story of a king that wandered into the woods and met a ghost and just decided to ask him a bunch of questions, kind of like you're doing, Garuda.
Right. And then it gives us a very brief description of the earthen jar ritual, which sometimes
The
makes these
Pratagata.
rituals easier to follow. Just when they encapsulate it like that, you can see the parts of it more clearly. When they tell you all the details, sometimes it's harder to see what's going on. But they were saying basically that once the person's dead, you don't do this till they're dead. You you do the Pratagata ritual, right? And which has to do with this earthen jar that you're going to break when you're halfway to the cemetery, and give a pinda, a ball of rice,
and cries aloud.
All right, and act like it's awful, and then when you get to the graveyard, I assume there's something you do, because it's said to take a water pot and go to a tree.
Yeah, it had one of those oars in there. Pratagata is also a jar whereby water is poured at the root of a sacred tree for the propitiation of a departed soul.
Right.
It doesn't make it clear that's necessarily subsequent in the ritual, but it says, it's one of these. Oh, and you could also do this.
So I thought that was interesting, because water pots and trees and things like that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They would intentionally be watering a tree with this in mind, that it would save the soul of the person somehow.
It reminds me of the photograph I took on possibly my first trip to India, of a monk pouring water from a pot at the foot of the people tree, the tree that the Buddha sat under. And
maybe that's what he was doing.
Mahabodhi. Maybe. Or he was just, worshiping the tree by offering it water because, special tree.
I agree. Okay, and then, and they said that this custom would vary by family custom, which I thought was cool. And then the gold jar description of milk or butter, I immediately thought of the water pot you see with butter in it in these Krishna postcards and stuff.
And that's usually in the Makhan Chor butter thief.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegory story.
But they always show it as a golden jar with butter in it.
Yeah, not always, but frequently.
And then verse 58 and 59, they were giving what the offerings should be: incense, water, or incense, flowers, and sandal were the things that they listed. So it makes you wonder what incense is, unless it's the lignum aloes.
Yeah, well, they burn all sorts of things, and I think they have for a long time. They've been finding resins and
incense of choice, or of the day, or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of fragrant woods.
Okay, but very interesting.
As always.
Lots of people leave flowers in graveyards. Some people leave incense, especially Chinese.
For example.
Yeah.
A lot of ancestor worship involves sometimes fistfuls
of incense. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can meditate on that, and we'll see you next time.